The the mass battle is in part an idea of like concerning the strain of civilization, which is between the forces of reason and the forces of irrationality. Generally, I do like to start with an idea of what the time feel is going to be, and so that a lot of times that starts with the drums. But but then I mean, like I've heard it said that like songwriting is like building a house, and so you want to begin with a strong foundation, and so a lot of times the drums and the bass are what come first. But I want to make depending on how many chord changes we're working with, and I think in pop music, you face a sort of some sort of externally imposed limitation to that, not always, but in a lot of instances. But all that's to say that I want the bass lines to be interesting, and though I don't play bass, I hope that I want them to, I write them with you in mind, I hope they're I want them to be fun to play,
They're definitely fun to play.
So, and then that's where the piano is a nice bridge to the guitar, because the piano can either kind of carry the sort of bass idea in one hand, and then sort of expand the harmony with the other, leaving the guitar to really inhabit its role as a lead instrument. Language for me is the thing that is is the thing that I end up sort of taking the most time to settle on, and am the most obsessed about the revision of it, because I want the palette there is so broad in terms of all the words that we have at our disposal, but so it's an interesting exercise to combine these all these words in different ways, but then it also has to feel natural, and it has to have a music of its own, and it can't be too it can't come across as too I don't know, too obsessed over, or too studied or something. There has to be a kind of singability to it, or even a quotability to it. But I do think that it's a realm in which the lyric of the pop song is a realm in which poetry continues to have a life and be vital.
I think you're running from something, Vera. Can't tell, but maybe I am too. So come, let's pick apart the Sunday mirror. Some folks
tell me about the recording of the Masked Battle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I mean, it was like it was like risky business for a while before we knew that Tom Ray was just going to be the awesome fourth member that he ended up being. Can you make it like a E flat 7, like a dominant 7? Yeah. There it is. I know.
More like Jimmy.
I know. I want that. I think from Enjoy to this recording session, I mean, it's always felt good. I mean, there's the band has sounded good, and like the days that we are all tracking together, have their ups and downs, but like in the end, I think like the yield is really strong, and I think the interesting thing with this process for the Masked Battle was that James took on a stronger role as producer, and we had more time to really like work the tracks and get them to a state of finish that was that we felt good about, and that could withstand like dozens or hundreds of listens, and that we would still like enjoy, that we could still tolerate, so yeah, and I think like the vocal sessions were a little freer too, and also like some of the stuff that we did with the guitar, there was like a little more freedom of experimentation, and just kind of like interjecting things here and there, and like that's both us like being comfortable in the studio, and I think also James being more comfortable in his dialogue with us, and I just hope that I mean, like my strongest hope out of this is that just like continues, and that like in our next iteration of the process that there's just like the collaboration is like that much more enriched by like what we're all bringing to the table.
Living and making music in Austin.
Okay. Well, I mean, what I say to like anyone who asks is that I think it's an incredible place to incubate like a project like of some sort of like original impulse or something like that, because I think the talent pool is very deep, I mean it. And it grows deeper by the hour, I think, I mean like our Tom just moved here, and he's like just an incredible guitarist, that just happens to be living here now, and so and I think that like the quality of life here is in many ways like higher than it is in some of the other like urban centers that are known for a kind of music industry, having come from New York and stuff. People are more willing to like throw their hand into a startup and just kind of see where it leads and stuff like that. That said, there's just like it being the nominal live music capital of the world means that like there are just you know, there's a venue on every street corner, and like they all need to have programming every night of the week. So you can play, you know, as we did kind of like in our first year or so. I mean, you can play every week, or you know, and grind it out and kind of get your sound together and stuff. But it's a difficult place to like build an audience, I think, because there's so much going on all at once, and then you know you have like touring acts come through here too because they want to play in Austin, and so it's both good and bad. I mean, I think ultimately like what we found is that like you know, now like kind of two records in, like it's the road takes on greater importance. Touring takes on greater importance because we can't we can't rely on Austin to provide the sort of like enough of an audience as like as frequently as we would like to perform, you know. But you know, it is like it that it has led us to that point is a good thing, I think, you know. So
Cool. So where do you see Mount Pressmore going?
yeah. Well, I mean, I really would. I mean, I really would like to make like a record on an annual basis, and I'd like to. I'd like to find an audience, you know, because I think we can. You know, I've been like, people have said that they think it's not an unrealistic expectation with this new album that we could, you know, and then just like develop that and like grow as a band and like convey music that like people enjoy and are entertained by, and you know, maybe even like touched by, and but yeah, but just to continue to make the music is my greatest priority.